Hey everybody, it's Miss Kent. This is week 4, day 3. This is one of the more challenging things that we get to at the end of 3rd grade. We're actually going to look at a table that has different fractional measurements in it. We're going to draw fractions on a number line, and then we're going to turn that number line into a line plot. Now there are different kinds of graphs, and I know that we've all seen like a bar graph, where we talk about things that we measure in bars. Maybe some of us have seen like a pie graph, and it might talk about certain percentages of things. We really don't talk about that much. A lot of us have seen like a pictograph, where there's pictures. Maybe the pictures represent something. Some of us have seen what's called a tally chart, where we see tally marks. A line plot is a little different because it's a line and we're actually going to plot our information, okay? It's not very difficult to read. It is a little bit of a challenge to make it, but if you make it, you'll be able to understand how to read it a lot better. So today I do have a table up here, and this is just a little table for me to gather information. And it says height of students. So we're going to talk about our students' height, and let's look. Student 1 is 4.5 feet tall. Pretty tall. Student 2 is 3 3/4 feet tall. Student 3 is 3 1/4 feet tall. Student 4 is 4 1/4 feet tall. Student 5 is 3 1/4 feet tall. Student 6 is 5 1/3 feet tall. Woo. Student 7 is 5 feet tall. Student 8 is 4.5 feet tall. Student 9 is 3 1/3 foot tall. Student 10 is 4 1/3 feet tall. Student 11 is 4 1/4 feet tall. And student 12 is 3 1/4 feet tall. So I've gathered all my information about the student's height. Next, I want to put these fractions in order on a number line, which basically a number line is a ruler or a tape diagram. So I'm going to draw my number line. Now I want to look at my smallest fraction, my smallest number up here. I don't see 0. I don't see 1. I don't see 2. Now I see 3 and a fraction. So I'm going to start my number line with 3. Because I want to start a number line with a whole number. What's my largest number that I have? Now I have 5 feet, but here I have 5 1/3. So should I end it with 5 feet? No, but I want to end it with a whole number, so I'm going to have to end this number line with a 6. In between 3 and 6, we have the numbers 4 and the number 5. And all these are measurements of feet. Now I'm going to use some color coding here only because it's easier for you to visualize. However, if you want to use color coding, you may. I want to look up here, and I know half is a good starting point, but is there anyone that measured 3.5? What about 4.5? Yes, so I'm going to label this right here as 4.5. What about 5.5? Nope, there's no 5.5. Now, if you feel more comfortable putting 3.5 and 5.5 on here, that's fine also if that's going to help you. But you don't have to include it because those are not numbers that are up here. So I can look up here already, and I like to kind of eliminate things. So I've already written this number down, and I've already written this one down. Are there any more that I can kind of mark off that I've already put on my number line? Oh, there's another 4.5 somewhere. I got that one on there too, okay? Okay, so next, I want to look at the fourths. Now, wait a minute. If I'm having to mark a fourth, what's that good landmark fraction that's going to help me identify a fourth? A half. So I don't really need to mark a half, but I'm just going to put a little line there to help me. Okay? So I'm going to need, is there a 3 1/4? Yes. We know there's not a half, but is there a 3 3/4? Because this would be 3, 3 1/4, 3 2/4. Yes, there is a 3 3/4. So I've got those numbered. I'll go there and check. Oh, there's another one. Okay. Now, is there a 4 1/4? Yes, there is. So between 4 and 4.5, there comes 4 1/4. Is there a 4 3/4? What about, is there a 5 1/4? No. Okay. So now I know this is what I have left to put on my chart because I kind of marked out as I went. 5 1/3. 3 1/3, 4 1/3. So now I know I've got to list thirds on my chart. This can be kind of a little bit tricky because I've put the fourths and I've put the half on there, okay? So I want to, this helps me, and I can always erase it. I need to put 3 1/3 on here, so I'm going to draw a tape diagram. Okay? And I'm going to look at my tape diagram, and I'm going to think about trying to divide it into 3 equal pieces. Okay, 3 equal pieces. Hey, if I had a tape diagram below this and I divide it into 4 equal pieces, it would look like this. So where should I put 1/3? Yes, 3 1/3. Should I put it before? This is 1/3, 2/3. Should I put 1/3 before a fourth or after a fourth? 3 1/3 should go after a fourth. Because, and that's really still not lined up correctly, it should be more like right there. If I look at my tape diagram, 1/3 is more than a fourth, but it's less than a half. Okay? So I've got that on there, and now I'm going to erase my tape diagram because I really didn't need it. I was just using it because I needed it for myself. Let's see, and that's pretty messy. So I know my line's right here. 3 1/3. So I got that one. Oh no, I'm going to need 4 1/3. Okay, I've got, oh, this is supposed to be 4 1/4. I had a half there. Ooh. Okay. What do I know about a third? Does it come before or after a fourth? It comes after a fourth. So right here I'm going to put 4 1/3. Now I need to have 5 1/3 listed. So I'm looking here and I'm thinking, I need to divide this into 3 pieces. I'm going to go with about right here and divide it. 5 1/3. So now I have put all the heights on my number line in order. Okay. It wants me to plot this line plot. So this is what a line plot is. 4.5 feet. One person measures that. 3 3/4. 3 1/4. And guys, if you're writing on your paper, you can always just do this, okay? 4 1/4. 3 1/4. 5 1/3. Process of elimination really helps me because I don't get lost. 5 feet. And I want to try to make sure they're kind of all even. So visually I see, oh, right now, 3 1/4's winning. 4 1/2, until that just tied it up. 3 1/3. 4 1/3. 4 1/4. 3 1/4. So now I've plotted all of these heights on a line plot, and I can clearly look here and see more students are 3 1/4 inches or 3 1/4 feet tall. Okay, there are 4 1/4 and 4 1/2. We have 2 students. My tallest student is 3 1/3 feet tall, and my shortest student is 3 1/4 feet tall. This is all a line plot is a line, and you put an X to plot how many items fall within whatever that category is. I hope this was beneficial to you. When you get to this sheet, don't stress out too much. Just do the very best you can, because this can kind of be confusing because it's combining fractions on a number line, graphing, and a line plot. It's a lot all combined into one. I hope everybody has a great day. Bye.